once you set the foundational things that are working behind the scenes, like a flywheel, bringing you in more patients, you no longer are on this roller coaster in your office of good month, bad, lots of bad. You know what I mean? So we want to really start to make that obsolete. Secondary to that is like we start to take these frameworks of how we build in our businesses, and then we want to build in our life that way. And your business can only expand to the level that you grow as a leader.
Welcome to the Chiropractic Authority Podcast. Now, if you've been here for a while, you might be thinking, "Oh, wait, wasn't this called None of Your Business with Robert DeLude, the podcast dude?" Yes. Yep. Same feed, same voice, same mission at the core. Just a clear focus. We didn't start a brand new show on purpose. Over the years, None of Your Business reached a lot of people, entrepreneurs, creators, operators, people overcoming challenges in their life, looking to build something real. And along the way, chiropractic kept showing up again and again and again. Not as a trend, but it literally changed my life. Chiropractic is one of the most understood, undercommunicated, life-changing professions out there. So instead of walking away from the audience that already trusted the show, we decided to evolve it. This podcast is now primarily for chiropractors, especially those who believe chiropractic is bigger than pain relief, bigger than crack videos, bigger than $29 specials. Chiropractors who see this work as a calling, a philosophy, and a responsibility. But here's the bigger play. A good portion of you listening right now aren't chiropractors. And that's intentional because the more people actually understand what chiropractic is, what it stands for, and what it can do, the bigger impact it becomes. So whether you're a chiropractor looking to lead, communicate, and build real authority, or someone who's followed this podcast from the very beginning and is curious to finally understand chiropractic beyond the surface, you're in the right place. This is the Chiropractic Authority Podcast. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
I guessed lots of times. I'm like, I'm going to say this wrong. So,
No, it's perfect.
yeah. All right. Well, Dr. Abby, thank you for taking the time to join us at the Chiropractic Authority Podcast. How you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously this is the Chiropractic Authority Podcast, but somebody told me that you were gonna go to be an optometrist?
Yes. Yeah. Originally, I was going to be an optometrist. You are correct in that.
All right. So what made the shift from eyeballs to spines?
Yeah. So
Or
I
nervous
was
system,
working,
not
right?
spines?
I was working for a couple down in North Carolina who were both optometrists, and he would work Monday through Thursday. She would work Friday mornings. And before her shift, she would take us all through like yoga and all of this holistic, more whole body wellness approach, very much a vitalistic approach to health and wellness. And I really realized about myself that I wanted to be able, like, what I loved about optometry was a lot of health is seen through your eyes. So they can a lot of times like figure out global wellness or issues going on just by looking into the eyes. And I realized that I had such a vast yearning to understand the body from a more holistic approach or vitalistic approach. And I also just really loved the glasses and the shop. And I was like, man, I'm more into the design component of this than the optometry. So that whole Eastern medicine and holistic approach got me down an avenue of looking into chiropractic as a profession. So here I was, all signed up to go to optometry school, ready to go to down in Tennessee. And last minute, I applied to Palmer and vastly different road ahead.
Do you ever look back and you're like, man, I wish I went to optometry school?
Not once. I look back and I understand that I didn't realize at the time that I was actually an entrepreneur that just so happened to become a chiropractor. But not once have I ever looked back and thought I was supposed to be anywhere else but chiropractic. I've always had the innate feeling that I was going to make a huge impact in whatever profession I went into. And I really wanted one that I believed in long term. And I always thought it would be through chiropractic. Like, I love being a chiropractor and I get in there and I love taking care of people and babies and all of this. But I really know that what God's calling me through and to do for chiropractic is help to reframe how we are able to also be business owners. Because there's not a lot of other professions where you graduate and you can't just get by being an amazing clinician. Most of the time, in order to build the life that you want through chiropractic, you really have to understand how to also run and manage a business. So it's been really, really cool to see that journey that really chose me.
Love that. I love that. Okay, so you graduated from Palmer.
I said, "Yep.
I thought you said what? I was like, what?
What?
Okay,
What?"
so from I don't know, my internet just wants to lag today. Like
No worries.
I don't like any other day it doesn't lag, but today of all days it wants to lag. So, but from when you graduated, not from when you graduated, but
Yeah.
other students who graduate when they come into the world, like how do you think chiropractors in the new age, the new era, the younger generation, how should they market, or what have you seen what have you seen well in marketing for new chiropractors?
Oh my goodness, I love this question because this is the forefront of where chiropractic or chiropractic marketing is going. So, one of the biggest things that we spend a lot of time working on and helping other chiropractors unlock isn't like, what's the new marketing? It's almost like a new framework that they need to take their mindset through. The world is not the same, and it's only the beginning of going to be reaching people. And how do we utilize and how do we get information? What is marketing? Like, a brand or marketing is what we're known for. And business is super duper simple when we break it down. You have to be able to attract, you have to be able to convert those people, you have to be able to retain those people, right? So, how do we attract people? It used to be just these little towns, and we're attracting through like word of mouth or the newspaper or more old school marketing techniques. Now, everybody, where do we go to look for anything? We go to Facebook, we go to chat, we go to Instagram, we go to YouTube. Like, a bunch of our content is from long form YouTube. So it's not old school where we would make dinner and then after dinner all sit down and watch the TV or something. Now we're actually consuming a lot of our knowledge through obviously the internet and through long form content. And what we need to build in not only in our offices, but also for ourselves is what's called like a personal brand. So, what you're known for and allowing others to know what you're known for as well. So, I think one of the biggest things for new chiropractors or just graduating chiropractors to start to unlock is a framework that even as a student or after graduation, they should be building the skill set of how to allow other people to know exactly who you are, exactly what you do, and have the skill set to be able to understand that the most valuable thing that you are acquiring is the information. So that contact or what we'd call a lead. So this is through their name, their email, their phone number. What do we all pay for? Any paid marketing anymore? People are paying for meta ads, all of this, right? The most important thing, the thing of value that they have is the attention of others. So the more that we can get that attention of the ideal client that we want to work with, capture that and own it. So we are able to put it into our own email sequences, into our own CRMs, into our own ability to reach out or get direct to the people that are our ideal clients, the more successful you're going to be. If you start to unlock that, you start to unlock limitless earning potential, limitless freedom, limitless like everything. And I could talk for days on this because I'm like, woo, we it's all we think, sleep, learn about.
No, I love that. So how I like learned about you was I do content for chiropractors, and I would go and like, the female associate doctors would be like, "Oh, do you know who Dr. Abby is?" I'm like, "No, what? Who?" And it would happen in multiple different locations. The female associates would ask if I met you. I was like, "No, I have no idea who you're talking about." And you're in Michigan?
Michigan.
So these women would be in Denver, they would be in Chicago, they would be in Florida. And they're asking, like, so obviously what you're doing is working and you're building a personal brand. So you're not only living what you're walking the walk, is what I'm
Yeah.
apparently having a brain fart on and can't articulate words. So, but I love that. And if we look at history, the newspaper is dead. So you can't put an ad in the newspaper anymore. The yellow
Uh-huh.
pages are dead. I think I have an old phone book that I use to hold up my coffee table. Google Ads. Like Google Ads work for some point, but like history, many businesses went under when Google Ads flipped their algorithm overnight. Same with Meta Ads. So if you're growing a personal brand and having an audience where if Zuckerberg or Google CEOs want to just take it away, where can you go where your clients can still reach you? Where
Uh-huh.
can they find you? So I love how you do your social media I love it. She's doing it right. This is the new era, a personal brand. If people don't know, like, and trust you, then why would they come to you? If all you see are crack videos on the internet,
Mhm.
and like, yes, some people adjust right on the internet, 100%. But there's also a lot of people adjusting wrong on the internet. And for me, I was somebody who didn't go to a chiropractor for so long because I would see some Asian dude with a mallet doing chiropractic on TikTok, and it would scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
So having a chiropractor build a personal brand, and also you are doing it at a younger age, but I'm sure not every chiropractor, when they're done, they just want to adjust the rest of their life or check
Right.
people the rest of
Yeah.
their life.
Yeah.
You are in real estate, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to piggyback off of that, we train with the Hermosis. And last time we were out there, they said something super impactful. So it's always like, watch the people in places that you want to be in and watch like how they speak, how they carry themselves, watch how they spend their time, watch how they're moving. So one of the biggest things when we were out there that impacted me that they said is that their number one thing they're going to be putting their resources in is more live streaming with Alex Hermosi and more long form content, which we already know they're doing a ton on YouTube. So I'm like, okay, light bulb, remember that. Like, if that's what they're putting their resources towards, that's something very important to build out. And secondary to that, they said, if you learn the skill and if you pour into building your personal brand for 3 solid years, you will never have to work another day in your life. Like, you'll never have to worry about money another day in your life. So if that doesn't unlock a light bulb moment in your head right now for every single person listening, it's like, how do I apply this to being a chiropractor? If I properly build out my personal brand within my office or build out my office's brand and do this on rock foundation, like, I probably won't have to worry about every other ad I see for chiropractors is like, how to get new patients. How do I bring in 20 new patients? This, that. It's like once you set the foundational things that are working behind the scenes, like a flywheel, bringing you in more patients, you no longer are on this roller coaster in your office of good month, bad, lots of bad. You know what I mean? So we want to really start to make that obsolete. Secondary to that is like we start to take these frameworks of how we build in our businesses, and then we want to build in our life that way. And your business can only expand to the level that you grow as a leader, as a person. So as you're growing and learning these, of course, you're going to be able to apply them exterior to just your office. I knew from a very early on in my career, I'm like, there, like physically, there's no way that I can continue to do this at this pace. I'm already starting to feel physically exhausted and I'm a big freedom person, so the fact that every time I stepped out of my office, everything in my office needed me. Every time I stepped out, it shut down. I mean, I'm membership based, so I made a little bit of recurring revenue, but essentially I had to be there for income to come in. So I didn't know what I didn't know. I would do it differently and sequence the escalation of growth differently in my life. But at the time, I'm like, let me take all of my active money and put it into passive real estate or passive income. So I just knew I needed to continue to build or create cash flowing assets that had no affiliation with my time or even my name. So I really, really loved real estate. And I think I remember two things like this Grant Cardone, and he's like, I like to be able to see my money. And he's like hitting a brick building. And then his second thing was like, just do the deal. And it just resonated to my soul. It was like, just do the deal. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I so afraid of? Like, I need to just do the deal. Like, just get started in something. And the coolest thing is like success loves speed. So a lot of times you talk to people and they'll be talking about, you really need to get into Airbnbs. I really need to get into real estate. I check back a year later, same story. 2 years later, same story. And it's like, by the time someone's decided to even do their first deal, I've probably bought the property, lost 20 grand on it, put 10 grand into it, and brought a return of 80 grand and learned a ton of lessons along the way. So what I found is like doing nothing is always worth or worse than at least just like moving forward and learning, falling forward, learning forward. And we always like to say, make money while you learn.
Man, you just dropped so much. We might as well just end it right now. I have like a lot to process to that. Success loves speed. When like you said that, and I tried to focus after that because I was like, damn, you're right. Wow. So when was the first time that you made a real estate investment?
So essentially I just needed to get my foot in the door with it. When I bought my first property, I was a single mom, and when the girls would be gone, I bought like a cabin, and I had a cabin with the girls. So it was me and the girls there. They would go on the weekend to their dad's, and I'd literally get done with shift on a Friday, run home, flip the house for Airbnb, take my kids to their dad's, stay at my mom's like in her basement for the weekend, and then have the Airbnb flip it back on Sunday. And what it did is it allowed me to understand, like, okay, putting it up on Airbnb, what does this look like? But it also allowed me to start cash flowing like my mortgage amount while I still live there in 2 weekends a month. And it started to crush limiting beliefs for me of everyone's like, no one's going to do that in Michigan. No one's going to blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody's going to tell you all the reasons it won't work, which is why when you have an infant stage idea or dream, don't tell people. Like, tell only people that are gonna pour love and light into you. Tell only people that have done that or are ahead of you, because those are the type of people that are gonna boost you up, are gonna tell you all the ways it can work. If you take opinions from people that have never had an Airbnb, have never built it, like they're gonna tell you all of their fears in a nutshell and impose them on you. So a lot of the people around me at the time, and it can be the people that love you the most, like they don't mean it to be mean to you or anything. They literally are trying to protect you, but they're protecting you from their own fears, false evidence appearing real, right? So I had to get through some limiting beliefs that I had. I'm like, let me see if this works. And I am telling you, Robert, it was in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. I'd have people, some of the coolest ones I remember were a group of three I don't know, like they're writing movies. So they're writing movies out of California, and they're like, we just want to go off the grid. We've never seen snow in Michigan. We rented your cabin. It was perfect. I'm like, okay. So the thing that's so normal to us is like very niche and novice to other people. Like, we're going to fly to Michigan and work for a weekend off grid. And it started to be proof of concept for me. And then I moved into the next house I flipped, and I worked on it myself, like flipped it myself when, again, weekends, girls were gone. And then I turned that into an Airbnb, and that worked. And then it just started to compile, because instead of trying to get your foot in the door, now it's like everything is on the other side of compounding interest in the best way. They always say it's like the fifth wonder of the world or the whatever. I don't know what they say, like fourth wonder, third, or whatever it's supposed to be. But you get on
Whatever
the
they
other
mean.
there you go. Yeah. You get on the other side of that compounding interest where it's working for you, and this is where magical stuff starts to happen. But the hardest part is always the closing the skill gap when you don't know what you don't know, and then closing the skill gap when you know you don't know, but you still haven't mastered that skill set yet. Once you do, though, it's like it doesn't feel hard anymore, and you start to just, and I would say the same for building your personal brand and for content. Like, a lot of people overthink it and then they just don't start when you're not making content. You are documenting what you're already doing. Same thing in your offices. You don't have to intentionally make a bunch of content. You're documenting what you're already doing and sharing that with the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
So just to go back a little bit, if your first investment the cabin didn't go well, do you think you would have still done the second deal? Hey guys, real quick. So if you're a principal chiropractor and you're sick and tired of watching sellout clinics dominate in their market, but you're too afraid or you don't know exactly where to get started with social media, I created something for you. It's called the Chiro Authority, and it's on the platform School. Link is going to be in the description there. So it's going to have all my templates, all my systems, all my prompts, everything that I use for my clients to make them the go-to chiropractor in their market. I don't work with chiropractors who do $29 specials, who do crack videos, or make themselves look like a 12-year-old girl on TikTok. It's going to be $29 a month to get into the group. That is more just a joke because I hate $29 specials for chiropractors. The link will be in the description in this video or show. Would love to have you in there. And if not, I hope you are enjoying the show. So let's get back to it.
100%. Like, I also had bought my commercial real estate with my office as well. So I think it's like failing forward into learning what didn't work about that property and then also learning what was working, you know? So I think it's like one of those things where every single successful person that you see has had so many failures. And I could tell you stories for days on properties, like things that went wrong, air quotes, or that were obstacles. And every single time it just leaves you with a skill learned, like more information, because you do one of two things. The faster that everyone learns this, the faster they're going to go. You either pay with your time and you pay down the ignorance debt with learning the mistakes and getting the scars, or you pay with your money, your limitless resource, which is money, to close those gaps and learn from people that have already done it and you skip that process. That's the only two roads you go down. Like that's it, you know? And the people, even when you pay with your time, you're in the arena, you might have less ignorance debt to pay down because you're seeking counsel, you're having mentorship, you're implementing more, but every single thing that comes up in your life, you can look at it in one of two ways. It can stop you and it can be like, that happened to me, or it can catapult you forward. And you can look at every single thing as this is an opportunity to learn from it. And every time I've embraced the difficult challenges that came up, it's like you 10x forward after it.
Love that. I love that you circled up on that because that's exactly what I was hoping you would say. No, that's awesome. Just like going to the gym, if you go to the gym consistently 5 days a week for 365 days, but then on January 1st again, you don't go to the gym for a week, you didn't lose all that progress.
Hmm.
Like you still have that muscle memory, you still have the skills and ability. So even if you fail or whatever, like you didn't restart from zero. You
No.
restarted with experience. So I love what you said. I absolutely love that. So now, like chiropractors get out of school debt with like what, over 250K in student loans.
Easy. Yes.
Do you know any chiropractors getting out now who want to invest in real estate or other passive forms of income, but are afraid to take that leap because they have this big ball and chain from
Hmm.
school?
Hmm. Yeah,
And
that's such a
if you
great
do,
question.
how would you go? Oh, no, if you do, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's such a great question. And I hope that, like, one of my biggest things with anything that I do is how can I create or provide the most value possible in every single thing? And my hope is that people that are listening to this, that we can have just slash through a limiting belief right now and have an aha moment. So, the really cool thing about student debt is it doesn't hold the same way as like consumer debt, right? So, we need to look at this as saying the government gave me $250,000. It's at 6%. There's all these ways to hold off on that. It's very, very like over here. I did it what I would consider now the wrong way. I snowballed that. I paid off my student loans in like 3 years and I just went ham on it. Like, yes, the positive of that is like I was essentially debt free and it may have freed me up a little bit in an investing or like a debt to income ratio type thing. But what I wish I would have had that the tools that I have now, which makes sense. I was making like $70,000 back then, 70 to $80,000, right? So who I was back then is not a woman making over $1 million. Like obviously my mindset and my shift in how I look at things has completely changed. So let me try to give you a glimpse into how I look at it now. Money is a tool to catapult or create more money moving forward. So if I can take that money and make more than 6.8% on it, I'm going to do it all day long. If I can take OPM, other people's money, and make more than what they're lending it to me at, I'm going to do that all day long. If I can realize that paying that borrowing money at like 6% is great. Like most of my investments, I try to keep under like 8%, uh, depending on the opportunity and what's going to happen at like with that money that I'm going to do. But the biggest thing is like when you start making profit or start making money, what I did is like, oh, I'm scared. Let me just pay off all this debt because we're not supposed to have debt. Instead of understanding, like, if I have $100,000 to actively invest somewhere in myself, would be the number one thing, right? Because if I would have had these millionaire mindsets earlier, I would have known this and it would have saved me, not saved me, cancel. That's how limiting or lack mentality, how does that save me? It would have allowed me to invest that in moving faster in knowledge. Second thing is if I have that money and I can put it into $100,000 is 20% down to a $500,000 investment property that's cash flowing 1 to 2K a month. Now that's a forever. It's also a set that actually appreciates in value and I get to write off the depreciation of it at the same time. So I could be bringing in or making the amount of money to pay off my student loans while building wealth and having something appreciate in value that I can actually loan or take out more money against in the future. So really, really crazy. The third thing is I don't even think it's actually probably the right move for anyone early on in their career or in their office to be investing in like Airbnbs and stuff. Your number one investment's in yourself and in coaching. Your secondary investment is going to be in systematizing your business and creating more profit. And then you're going to go ahead and hire on team, like buy your time back. So your biggest things are going to be that ascension. And I think people do that way too late. Even like docs, so many doctors I talk to and students, like students even, what is your highest leverage spending your time right now doing? You can get a virtual assistant for $500 a month. You can get shipped to deliver your groceries for an extra $10. You can get like there's so many different ways that you can buy your time back and put it in people so that you can amplify your impact and make more profit or more money. So once people unlock that, then you're going to start to get, now I'm making a bunch of profit. I've maximized out my channels to do that. Now you have a money problem. These are the type of people I love to work with. Like I was kind of teasing, this might sound bad, but I was teasing earlier and I'm like, we help rich chiropractors get a heck of a lot richer. Like that's like what our coach, he's like, I help rich people get richer. And I'm like, it's truly really, really fun. We work with people at every single level. But it's super fun that now once you have mastered that and you're making the money, you get kind of frozen. You're like, freak out. Like, what am I supposed to do with all this money now? Because I had to work really hard to get it. You're actively making it. So this is where we can say, hey, now let's take a portion of that and start to diversify that into cash flowing forever investments. The first one for chiropractors being, I'm like, we're brick and mortar. Buy your office. Like if you're paying rent to other people, commercial real estate's a great investment. And then secondary is like obviously rental units and things like that. And you follow my content. So, I'm a big advocate of using that in my life for tax strategy as well. But no one teaches you this. Like we graduate with really amazing degrees and we're really amazing doctors. And we have no idea how to build wealth, no idea how to run a team, no idea how to run a business. So that's really what we love to help chiropractors and physical therapists and docs do. Hopefully that
I
makes
love
sense.
that. No, I love it. You guys, the HBA Mastermind, is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly what birthed out of all of this.
Yeah. Uh, if people are listening right now and they're like, I don't want to, like, if you're not coaching with Abby by the time this podcast ends, then you should do it right now. So, how can people get a hold of you, find you, join that mastermind?
Yeah, Instagram's the best. So Dr. Abby Sirovica on Instagram, HBA Mastermind on Instagram. We're gonna be just bringing a bunch of value to our YouTube. That's our next. We're not gatekeepers. Long forms where it's at. Communities are where it's at. Recurring revenues where it's at. Like we love talking all that stuff. So honestly, Instagram, YouTube, Dr. Abby Sirovica, my husband, soon to be Dr. Odell Miller. So finding us on there where we like to provide value for people. It's like you don't have to do anything when you provide a lot of value. I feel like that is what organic and marketing is. And then we love to get in how to utilize paid marketing.
Yeah. Uh, Man, I remember when Hermosi did his first book launch, and at the end of the stack, he was like, it's all free. And the
Yeah.
internet lost their mind. And then the gurus were like, oh, Hermosi giving everything away for free is a dumb move.
Yeah.
Was it? Because this launch, he made 105 million in 72 hours. Like, it's just funny where people will read a book and then they're like, $5,000 for the stuff that I read out of this book, and I'm just going to put my name on it. Like, you didn't come up with it. Like,
Yes. No
shut
one did.
up. No
Yes.
one did.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's like everything, unless from like the beginning of time, obviously somebody came up with something.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people just take regurgitated stuff, throw their name on it, and then charge money for it, and then get upset that they stole my idea. Well, no, you read the same book as them, so shut up.
Yes. And truly, like, what we
Yeah,
should be paying for is implementation. So it's not who came up with or how or getting the information. All of us can get it for free on YouTube. It's like pay for speed. Again, success loves speed. And the more you can buy back your time of implementation, the faster you're going to go. So it's not, we always tell our clients, like, you can do it on your own, but like rich people know, why would I want to? And I think that's like the really cool thing too. One of my favorite quotes is Henry Ford, and he's like, if you would have asked people what they want, they would have asked for a faster horse. If you would have asked people what they want, they would have asked for a faster horse. Like there's all these people, oh, I don't know if I want to do online, or I don't really like a personal brand, and I don't really want to integrate AI, and I don't, it's the same people of like, I still want my horse and I don't really know if I want my horse this way or not. It's like, this is coming one way or another. You need to understand how to use and integrate these things into your business. Like, that isn't really the focus or the question. It's just like, how on the forefront of all of it do you want to be? Because the more you are able to, it's just like lifting, the more you're able to go through the pain on the forefront. Like, I'll choose daily pain of showing up, watching what I eat, all of that, because I know the long term pain it's keeping me from. The same thing. Yes, having a personal brand is uncomfortable. Yes, the first time I put my tripod up in the Battle Creek YMCA, very uncomfortable. Most of the people close to me were like, not like making fun of me, but sort of like doubting me. Or even like my right hand person in the office was like one of my biggest, like, naysayers, and it hurts your heart. And then you just push past that pain and you keep showing up, and like you don't let those with small minds or hearts or like their own fears squash your dream. And then there's this point that it hits where you're like, I think it was like when I hit my first 10,000, doing 10,000 a month online, I'm like, I no longer care. I've got my tripod right here. Like, you guys, and now we do over six figures online. And I'm like, I don't even actually think of them anymore. Like, it's interesting because a funny thing happens. I think you get past that point and people start to ask you honestly, like, how you did it. And it starts to come back out of the woodwork of like, they really look up to you and they're proud of you. And your hometown can be kind of like rooting for you. But a lot of times in the beginning there, most of what people's doing is just what they've always known to be true, and they aren't gonna understand what you're doing yet. The same like, we were teasing the other morning. We're like, "Do you think Henry Ford" like, everyone's like, "That was a great idea, man, like, we should definitely have Model Ts everywhere, and, like, this is gonna be great," you know? So just being able to push through that, and I think that's where masterminds and groups are so important because you have to again, it goes back to, like, when you have that idea, you have to be super intentional about making sure that small-minded people don't kill it in the early phases.
Small-minded people don't kill it in the early phases. Ooh, I like that. I like that. You know, it's funny where if you have your tripod out in public or whatever, people are like, "Oh, you have a third eye." That's weird. But what are they doing in between sets? They're scrolling Instagram.
Mhm, they're consuming, yeah.
They're consuming. I'm creating. And
Mhm,
like so I didn't evolve. I was like, I'm an old school podcaster, which I wasn't. I was, I just started podcasting but I learned from the old school guys and they're like, a
mhm,
podcast is only an RSS feed. It's not video. And that was kind of like my mentality. It was like a
yeah.
podcast is only audio. And I got left in the dust.
Huh.
And I was like, man, if I evolved or adapted into, then my life would probably look different right now. But I was stuck in my ways, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing a video. If a podcast is on YouTube, then it's not a podcast, which uh, stupid. So the point to this is, have you had older chiropractors who have pushed back on the naysayers of building a personal brand as a chiropractor?
That's a great question. I think for the most part, the groundwork's been laid for us. I think definitely 5 years ago, you were gonna get way more pushback. Even I feel like it's pretty common now. Most people have a social media presence and are able to show up in that way, but I think you're also going to get pushback when you're paving paths no one's taken before. And it's kinda like, that whole saying or mindset of it's like a crown, like, having haters is gonna be a crown, and a crown in the sense of, like, it's part of it, and I always lean on the saying that going back to, like, this is a world that crucified a perfect man. Like, I don't know, that helps me all the time. I'm like, if these people can crucify a seemingly perfect person, like, who am I to think that they aren't going to throw shade or hate my way? And that's always really helped me because I'm definitely a people pleaser, which has slowed me down in my process of showing up and being able to expand or help others. And even more importantly, attract the 20 to 30% of people that do resonate with me. I was so scared about the 40% that were indifferent and honestly the 30% that would like not like me, right? That I was missing out on the 20 to 30% that would be like, you are my jam. Let's go. And now it's like all I am focused on is that 20 or 30% that are like, you're my jam. And it makes all the noise of all the other stuff go away. And I love what you just vulnerably shared because, Robert, that's how we help and expand other people. Isn't by saying, like, oh, yeah, bro, like I switched over to video, blah, blah, blah. It's saying, like, dude, I messed up. I went slower not doing this. And then asking ourselves, we constantly ask ourselves, what are we doing right now that in 5 years we're going to look back and say, like, that was so silly? What are we doing right now that we're missing out? Because the same time when there was a shift happening going to video, you miss that shift happening. There's something happening right now that a shift is happening that you don't want to miss. It's probably live stream, right? It's probably live streaming and it's long form because here's the thing, and we just got off our master class with like our mastermind students and clients. And the biggest thing, the concept that we were teaching was essentially taking a cold nurture to a warm nurture and doing that for their offices. But it's no different for our coaching program. It's no different for your podcast or anytime we're creating recurring revenue or offers. It's like, how do we take people from not knowing us to know, like, and trusting us in a world where the mode is they're consuming through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that. I don't know if you know this, but you can now, like, collaborate on YouTube videos. Like, what is
You can?
happening next? Yeah. So it's like, what is
Oh,
happening that we need to be on the forefront of that is going to make us the wild, wild west, like the first to market in these areas and apply it to our niches.
man. Yeah, I love you are just loads of gold. Love it. Love it. Okay, I just gotta process all that. I just wanna take this and run with it, man.
Yeah.
I know this is a podcast, but I feel like I'm getting coached right now. I love it. So,
Hey, we love it. This is our favorite thing to do. That's where I'm like, we love to talk business and how to build and scale like people's lives, right? I'm like, when I said like we like to take rich chiropractors and make them much richer, like most people, some people might be like, oh, that means money. No, rich in every single aspect of life, time rich, relationship rich, freedom rich, like money rich, spiritual, like all of the richness of life, like take that and amplify it, right? Because it doesn't matter what you're selling or doing, business is the same. Attract, convert, deliver, right? Attract, convert,
ooh,
deliver. And when we start to understand how we can utilize content or social media or these things to do just that, we start to unlock like you'll never have to worry about where a client comes from and you'll never have to worry about money again in your life because you can do that in any whatever brings you joy. Like now mine is I was this you can imagine me in practice. I was very revved up for chiropractic and what I did. And the same thing and what I do now. It's like I love talking business. Like it would make me so happy to say, what's your funnel? What's your acquisition? How much do you want to make in recurring revenue? What do you want to set up? Cool. How are we going to nurture leads? How are we going to follow up? What's the onboarding process? What's the quick wins they're getting? This is all the same, a chiropractic office or whatever business you apply it to. So super duper fun to us.
love it. In do you have 10 offices?
No, no. We have 2
No. Okay.
chiropractic offices, a PT office. I have about like 7, I think like 7 properties. So yeah. We are not
Okay.
interested honestly in scaling brick and mortar. It is not our jam. We found out early on like we're very freedom based. Like we really want to be able to wake up in Miami, take some calls, fly to Nashville, take some calls, see some clients and out in Montana. Like we really that's what we're finding a lot of joy in
Heck
this
yeah.
season. Yeah.
Well, I
My
guess you live in
nightmare would be
Michigan,
10
so
locations.
yeah, no, yes. That's one reason why I'm changing my business model because for me, right now, I physically have to be somewhere to film.
Mhm.
And it was like, well, if I'm not there, then I can't coach my client to make sure that they go viral. Because I see like older chiropractors who are boring as a doorknob in front of a camera. And it's like, I can't, like, your content's not going to perform. It doesn't matter how well I edit it, it's just not going to happen. And I realized, like, I don't want to work with those people anyways, because if it doesn't
Mhm.
perform, it looks bad on me.
Mhm.
And I know if I'm there in person, I know they're gonna go viral. Like that is
Yeah.
it. So and it's more like a control thing. But I'm like, I can't get I live in Helen, Montana, and I have to drive 2 hours to an airport.
Yeah.
So that alone is not worth my time. So
Totally.
changing my business model to where people can just I give them the templates, the playbooks, they film, we edit, we post it. Because I want to give up my time. I don't want to be. I was just thinking, I was like, okay, 5 years from now, do I want to be doing this? To a point, I want to help get the chiropractic message out to the masses so it can change lives because chiropractic care changed my life. If I went to a chiropractor in 7th grade instead of going to an M, I fully believe that I would not be addicted to painkillers. And why I didn't go to a chiropractor is because they're quacks. They don't fix the nervous system. Like they're not real doctors. Even I was talking to my grandma the other day, and I'm like, she was gonna like go. She was like, I think I need to have surgery on something, and I was like, have you gone to a chiropractor? And she's like, no, they're quacks. And I'm like, oh my. All right, well, you can enjoy your hip surgery. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with her, but
Yeah.
she would rather go have surgery than put surgery first than rather go see a chiropractor. And like,
Yeah.
I want to change that narrative because I was somebody who was afraid to go to a chiropractor because the narrative was wrong. And I think it's kind of badass that chiropractors used to go to jail for practicing chiropractic. Maybe the rebel in me just thinks that's kind of gangster. So, but anyways, just changing the business model to buy back my time. And like, if I create a course and sell that, that is there forever. I don't
Mhm.
have to do it anymore.
Yeah,
But
it's more the gym launch model. You're going into teaching the gyms how to do it versus fine. Same thing, I'm sure. I know you've mentioned Hermosi a few times, but and the same thing with like brand scaling. And truly you're gonna what does a brand scaler do? They don't go out and do. Usually they ask for the creatives that they need for Andromeda or like they're like, hey, I need you to film me XYZ. The doc or the person, the brand, like Cody Sanchez, is responsible for filming or getting that and getting it back to the brand scaler, right? And the thing that I've always like found is those clients are 1,000 times more fun to work with too. It's like you know what I mean? It's like, "Hey, film this, this, and this." You got me and Odell as a client, it's like, "Hey, blah, 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 blah," getting it right back, doers right back over. It's, the older clients, like, "I don't even know." They're also not that the older ones, there's nothing to do with age, but if you have a client that is, like, less apt to want to be able to do that, there might be even more obstacles that are pulling your time, attention, valuable resources. So I love that. And then I think I'm a big even I think that goes back to why you build out your chiropractic office and your real estate. And I still max out my IRA. It's just so little. I'm like, why not? And your Bitcoin and your, normal S&P. And like it's like multifaceted. The same thing with ours. Like of course you want things that are courses in evergreen and can make money while you sleep and you have no fulfillment in it. And, like, maybe you want some, like, high level clients that you are, okay, for $15,000, yeah, I will get on the phone with you. And, like, a group that you can mastermind and cultivate where it's recurring revenue and you're pouring into them. Like, I love building businesses on lots of different streams for it too to get the outcome. So I love that for you.
I love it. Thank you. And man, I love this. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit this because I'm just going to be like listening to it raw. Well, my editor is going to be listening to it but, yeah, I love it. So, when was the last time you hired an associate?
So my last hire in an associate was almost 2 years ago. Yeah. My
Okay.
last 2 have
Do
been with me almost 2 years now.
in the interview process, is them building a personal brand a requirement?
Them being able to show up or being open to it is a requirement. So, what I've learned the hard way is that you can teach skill sets, you can't teach culture. So, I will like ride or die on my core values now as a company. And as soon as I see a glitch in culture, like they're gone. That me even 3 years ago would not have held that line. Like, I had so many things going on in my own business that I think about now, and it almost makes me, like, laugh at what I didn't hold the line on, and it turned into a dumpster fire, and it really didn't serve anyone, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a good leader allowing things to slide in my business or allowing for the culture to not be upheld. So I'll say that what I would non-negotiable hire on is like our core values include like the ability to grow and having social media, personal brand building, being open to that is like a growth minded person and fast implementation. So we might come in on a Monday and be like, we're live streaming our meetings and no one on our team would blink. So that is the
I love
culture
that.
that we are. And the other thing is that it, like, gets intertwined, like, they know our poor team, they're on a fast-moving team because we are constantly learning, constantly getting mentorship, constantly pivoting, so they know that whatever was the latest way of doing it. It may come in and fast change of, hey, we're now not doing that and we're implementing this new thing and AI is taking over this. So our team moves really, really fast with that too.
I love it. I love it. What do you think about AI replacing content creation?
I mean, I think that you're never going to take away the human experience. So I think it's less of AI is going to take away a ton of the monotonous of editing and creating, but AI will never be able to give the human experience of what the content is about, right? So I think a lot of it's going to shift from no longer is it cool of, hey, let me just tell you how to do XYZ. But you're never going to take away the human experience of like, hey, when I did get my first Airbnb, here's the roadblocks I hit. Here's the things that I learned from that. Here's the experience. Or like we make fun of all of our kids watching other little kids. We're like, weirdos, like you're just watching other kids play with toys. Meanwhile, we're scrolling and just watching other women like clean their kitchen and clean their closet. Like it's human nature. If you're, like
Yeah.
even the real world, like why did that blow up? It's human nature to watch other humans. So AI, people get really scared of the fear of unknown and it's not going to I don't think it's ever gonna replace content creation. I think on the back end, it's going to take out of a lot of the tedious work of it and, shift a little bit of the landscape of it, but again, you're never gonna take away the human concept or experience in it too, and I hope that you are. Everyone in content creation in that world should be on the forefront of it. Like, right now, our editors edit, they drop it into an AI assistant or an AI bot. It goes to Opus, it clips out, everything's in short form, goes back into folders, then an AI bot can post it across all the stuff. Like this is how other people are getting vastly ahead of you. They're no different than you, they're no more special than you. They've literally just learned a skill set that you don't have yet. And they're leveraging AI to do so. So, in my opinion, it's like I can get on the forefront and learn it, or I can watch other people implement it and not even realize in what they're doing, to be honest.
You're okay. I yes, agree with all that 100%. I you said one word that I have to question on.
Yeah.
Your editors use Opus?
So we'll throw ours in for like AI editing. Our YouTube editors and stuff are doing that all obviously like normal humans doing editing, but we'll have them throw long form in and clip it out to mass like clip down to short form, if that makes sense.
No, I get it. How well are those clips performing?
So I'm gonna post one after this too. I just spoke at in Canada at Lux Talks, and some of those like are my highest performing like talk clips. So I think it's like with
For
everything. Like if you take like a percentage of what you're doing, I think the biggest thing too is having the ability to have systems in place to make it consistent in your life too, right? Like consistently doing the things will outwork or out level every other avenue of it too. So I think like especially for chiropractors that aren't doing much or like they're early on in the game, definitely leverage those tools too. It's probably better than
no,
them doing it nothing too. You know what I mean?
no, absolutely 100%. I 100%. I was just curious how
Have you
well the
thrown
Opus
anything
clips
in
were.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, like every like AI editing tool assistant thing, like I've tried because
Yeah.
I buy back my time, back my team's time. But in my experience, Opus clips don't perform. The quote unquote viral clips from Opus, they don't. What that was, yeah. But like to get a long piece of content out and just put it on the internet, yes, like 100% use that tool. I was just
Yeah. The
curious
other thing that's
if
helped us too is like if we were going through like a talk or we're going through a mastermind call, I will write down or even after my talk, I had like 2 or 3 that I told Odell, I'm like, "We need this, and this." So I'll find it in the talk and pull like the clips that I want to, but I've done that in Opus too, and it's been pretty good. But then again, I'm not like this is coming from someone I have like 8 to 9,000 followers, Odell's like in the 50s. So I don't know if we asked someone that had 1,000,000 followers, they might have a vastly different answer too.
Yeah, I was just curious if
Yeah.
for data. I was like, yeah.
We also Robert, we tried it, like, I wanna say 6 to 8 months ago and hated it. We just came back around to it in the last, like, 30 days too. We also launched, like, AI callers 6 months ago and hated it, and it's something that, like, it's in our books that we'll keep it's just moving forward at a vast speed, so it's something we'll keep, like, retesting every 3 to 6 months too. So,
That's fair.
that might be
I probably haven't used Opus in like 2 years or something. I don't know. When it first
yeah,
came out, I
no.
tried it.
Yeah, try it and let me know. Text me when you get like, throw something in there long form, preferably like a speech or something like that, and then see what it does. Because we didn't even like it like
Yeah.
6 to 8 months ago, actually.
Huh. All right.
So
Word.
revisit
I'm
it
not
and see
hating by
what
any means you
oh, no,
using
no, no, and
Opus. I was just
this is real talk, like, this is what people want and need to hear too. Because like, that too, it's like also, we try a bunch of stuff that doesn't do great, and it's ever changing. Like what worked for us 6 to 8 months ago isn't the same stuff we're focused on or working right now, and I'm not silly enough to think in another 6 to 8 months that's gonna be what we're gonna be focusing on either. So, it's ever changing too.
yeah, for sure. I love it. All right. So throw out your Instagram one more time so the peeps
Yeah.
can find you.
Yeah, at Dr. Abby Sirovica. And then our, coaching is at HBA Mastermind.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Dr. Abby, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yes, of
Guys, go
course.
follow her. Go join their mastermind. Watching her and her husband's content is just amazing. So go. It's Dr. Odell Miller. Is that
Yeah,
his
Dr.
Insta?
Odell Miller, 25, and he's
Yeah,
a physical
they're
therapist, but we serve a lot of just
yeah.
PTs and chiros.
When it comes to doing content, I think they're doing it right. So go follow them. And all right. Well, Dr. Abby, again, thank you for your time, and
Thank
I hope you have a great
you.
day.